All right, so I didn't want to get behind by missing Friday's class, so this is just a review. That's using The King Henry Died by Drinking Chocolate Milk. Now you notice that each of these letters correspond to a prefix in order from largest to smallest. So the K stands for kilo, H stands for hecto, D stands for deca. B is the base, so it just depends on if we're dealing with length. If we're dealing with length, then the base is meters. If we're dealing with weight, the base is going to be grams. And if we're dealing with volume, the base will be liters. And then you notice you have two D's, but to the right, the smaller units are all the I values, the deci, the centi, and the milli. So the nice thing about the metric system is that it's very, very easy to go back and forth between units of length. And it's just a decimal movement. So to convert millimeters, which is very, very small, it's about the width of your ID or of a credit card, to decameters, you just need to do a decimal shift. Now, here's the King Henry Died by, right, this is our meters because we're dealing with length. Drinking chocolate milk. Okay, so milli is right here. And so this is where you want to say start. And you want to go over here to deca. So start, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I moved my pen 4 units to the left. So you have to move your decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the left. There you go. So let's try this one. Kilometers to meters. So kilometers here, and we're going to go over here to meters. So this is our start. 1, 2, 3 to the right. So you find your decimal and shift it 1, 2, 3 to the right. Okay? So if you don't see your decimal, it's at the end of the number. So to go from centimeters to meters, here's my start, 1, 2 to the left. If you don't see your decimal point, it's at the end of the number. So put a decimal point there, and now we're going to put it 1, 2 to the left. So 1 in 2500th meters. So why don't you pause the video and just try these 3 and then turn it back on and then check it. Okay, so give it a pause and then come back on. All right, see how you did. So meters to millimeters. Start, 1, 2, 3 to the right. So here, I'm going to rewrite this number. So I have to go 1, 2. I ran out of numbers. Just put a loop there and then fill it in with a 0. So 450 millimeters. Right? If you run out of numbers, you just do the loop and add a 0. Just make sure you put the decimal at the end if you go to the right. And if you don't, I mean, we can include it or not include it there. 25 centimeters to millimeters. So there's your start, and we're going to go 1 unit to the right. So here's my decimal. We do 1 shift to the right, and then don't forget to plant your decimal. So 250 millimeters. And then the last one, 2,350 meters to kilometers. Start, 1, 2, 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3 to the right. And this is the process. It doesn't matter whether you're dealing with length or on the next page if you're dealing with grams or like with weight and mass, or if you're dealing with volume, which is on the page after this one. So you can still see it's hectogram, or kilogram, hecto, decagram, gram, right? King Henry died. There's our base, drinking chocolate milk. So I just said like the one like paper clip weighs about a gram. A mass of 1 liter of water, we'll talk about liters and gallons, is a kilogram. And a milligram is so teeny. They say that's the mass of just 3 to 5 grains of table salt. That's really, really teeny. And we know milligrams because we take ibuprofen, right? There's 200 milligrams of medicine in one pill for ibuprofen. And I just bought some crackers, and the box of crackers is 435 grams. So that kind of gives you an idea of what 4 sleeves of crackers weighs. And then here I said a kilogram is a little over 2 pounds. So an adult woman may weigh about 60 kilograms. All right, so just try these conversions. So stop the video and see if you can try going from kilograms to decigrams. All right, so kilogram all the way down to deci over here. Remember, these are the ones with the eyes. You start here, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. So I'm going to take my decimal and go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. Okay, and 10,000 milligrams to grams. You start 1, 2, 3 to the left. Here's my decimal, 1, 2, 3 to the left. So 10 grams. And then liters. And I said we kind of have an idea of what a liter is because you can buy soda in 2-liter bottles, right? So here we go again. King Henry died by, there's our liters, drinking chocolate milk. So exact same thing. So why don't you pause the video and do these 3, and then we can decide if we want to put everything in milliliters or liters down at the bottom. So deci to milli, remember the ones that have the eyes are on the right. So there's deci, and to milli we're going to go 1, 2 to the right. So there's my 12. My decimal's here. If I shift it 1, 2 to the right, I'm going to have to add 2 zeros. So 1,200 milliliters. Centi to hecto, here's your start. Oops, let me slide this down. Here's your start. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. Here's my decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So milliliters to liters, here's my milliliters. Start, 1, 2, 3 to the left. So I'm going to shift my decimal 1, 2, 3 to the left. You can put the 0 there or you don't need it. And then, I don't know, let's convert everything to liters. Okay, so let's convert 2,400 milliliters to liters. So start. 1, 2, 3 to the left. Shift this 1, 2, 3 to the left. And then we can go ahead and add these. You can do this on your calculator as well. All right, and then the last little conversion is temperature conversion. And again, like if you go to any country pretty much in the world except for 3 countries, they measure their temperatures in Celsius. So if we're visiting Canada and the television says, hey, it's going to be 22 degrees Celsius today, what kind of clothes do we need to wear? So this formula, either one, is a formula where if you know Celsius, you can pop your Celsius in here and out will come Fahrenheit. So I'll just use the one with the decimal in it. So if it's 22 degrees Celsius, we put 22 in for C. All right, what kind of day will this be? Looks like it's going to be 71.6 degrees. Wouldn't that be nice in Fahrenheit? So no, probably not a need for a winter hat. Since I'm visiting Canada and I borrow a thermometer, but it's only in Celsius and it reads 7 degrees. Should I be worried? Should I go to the doctor? So here's our formula. Okay, we're going to put 37 in for C. Why don't you pull out your calculator and just determine whether you should be beelining it to see a doctor. Okay, and I'm going to do it on my calculator. So I got 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So it looks like I don't need to go to the doctor, right? I don't have a fever. And the last little bit is this down here, where if you're given Fahrenheit and you want to check for Celsius. So the boiling point of water is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you're in a lab, you might just be dealing with Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. So what's the boiling point of Celsius? All right, so this is the formula you'll be given to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So you're going to pop that into your calculator. Wherever you see an F in this problem, you're going to put the 212 and see what you get for the boiling point in terms of Celsius. Now I have my fraction key, so I can put 5 over 9 as a fraction, and then 212 minus 32. So the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's do freezing. So most of us know that it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right, for freezing. What is it in terms of Celsius? So again, here's the formula that you'll be given. Pop 32 in for F. You might see it right now, but I'll go ahead and pop that in my calculator anyway. And there you go. The freezing point of Celsius is 0 degrees. So we got the boiling point is 100, freezing is 0 degrees Celsius, and again, it's convenient, right, to look at some of these boiling points and freezing points in Celsius rather than in Fahrenheit. So just make sure you fill this in before Wednesday, and this is going to be part of 6 points towards your OWOW to have this filled in. Okay, make sure you reach out if you have any questions, and we will see you on Monday.